Welcome to the Unapologetic Podcast with Kaitlyn Talamante, hosted by LadyBoss. This is the space where women rise, own their power, and stop playing small. We get real, we get raw, and we get fired up about confidence, health, business, and life. If you're ready to step into who God made you to be and unapologetically live your best life, then girl, you are in the right place. Let's do this.
This is what unapologetic looks like.
This is my era. I'm walking boldly in my purpose. I'm done dimming my light.
I'm done playing small. God didn't create me to blend in. I'm not for everyone, and that's okay. The old me was surviving. The new me is free.
We rise together.
Here's to living life unapologetically. Hey, ladies, and welcome back to another episode of Unapologetic, the show where we ditch perfection, show up raw and real, and talk about things with purpose, power, and how to own your story. Today's guest is a powerhouse. She is a single mom, a CEO, a nationally recognized speaker, and an absolute force when it comes to disrupting the sales world. Miss Jennifer Frye. She is the founder of Appreciated Asset, a company that helps entrepreneurs grow their business through bold, unapologetic sales strategies. The kind that doesn't just stand out, but it eliminates the competition. Today, she's here to talk about disrupting traditional sales tactics and why it is so important for women to have financial independence. Like, it's a non-negotiable, ladies. And how she is redefining having it all on her terms as a single mom, raising a son, and building an empire all at the same time. And did I mention she throws nightly kitchen dance parties? Like, that is my kind of girl right there. She totally lives life out loud. Let's dive in. Jennifer, how are you doing?
Good morning. How are you? I'm so
doing
excited we're doing this.
I'm so excited to have you here today. You've just got so much going on. And there's 3 topics I told the audience that we're here to talk about today. And I want to dive into all of them. But we're just going to go straight in before I have you go back and tell the story. Like, financial independence being a non-negotiable for women. Like, that's kind of like a bold statement. And I 100% back it. But I would love to know, like, why in your mind and what you do is that so darn important?
Okay. I think for women, it is critical that we're able to take care of ourselves and our children independently of anyone else. That's not to say that we should or that we have to. I'm saying that we need the ability to. So I am not going to start and get into this stay-at-home mom versus working mom argument. It's just lose-lose, right?
Yes.
You do you, but you have to have a plan and you have to have a strategy. And you have to have the means to be able to take care of yourself and your children independently. Because what that does is, as women, that gives us agency over our own lives. That gives us freedom of choice. And in my own situation, that was not a luxury. That was an actual lifeline. It allowed me to get out of a toxic, unsafe marriage, stay in my home with my son, not disturb his life barely at all. He's at the same school. We go on better vacations now because we don't have someone there to ruin them. But I could do that because I had the ability to do so. I didn't always have that, and that's when I was stuck. And I know what that feels like.
I hear so many times of like women say, and I've been there as well, where it's like, I can't leave this relationship because where would I go? I've got no money. I've got no this. Like, I'd have no help. And while there's truth in that, right? I feel like there are also lies that just keep us stuck that we're telling ourselves, because where there's a will, there's a way, right?
Yeah. And I want to say this is not about being a home wrecker. You know, if you're in a beautiful, healthy, happy relationship, please stay there, but please still also have a plan in place, because things happen. Sometimes it is through sickness or tragedy, or someone makes some really bad choices that have nothing to do with you, that you are still the collateral damage in. And so it's not about bracing yourself for the next tragedy. It's about knowing that when you have children specifically, you are obligated as their mother to be able to take care of them.
That's, thank you for making that point. So true. I know for me, like, there's been different seasons of life where I've had to reset what that looks like. And maybe it's a financial piece of it. Maybe it's setting a will. It's like when I travel internationally, like, I'm always like, are my wills in place? If something happens to me, it's X, Y, Z, are my children going to be okay? And it's the sole purpose of my children and their safety and their security. And that is a huge driver when it comes to like, okay, it's morbid to think about your will and death and all the things, but like, I'm a mom. My kids are first in a lot of things that I do. I mean, God, family, let's not dive into all that piece, but like, I have to keep in mind that if something happens to me, what happens to them? And so I like in different seasons, I've had to line it out, whether it be financial or my will or the documents or making sure someone knows where all this stuff is. There's so many layers to it.
Life insurance, you know,
Hmm.
having a plan in place so that of all the things for your kids, your family to worry about, God forbid, that money isn't one of them.
Yes. And
It's
I couldn't imagine. I've heard horror stories of spouses losing kids or husbands losing spouses and kids and having to go to work the next day or the next week because the bills don't stop. And I personally, I have not gone through a loss like that. Praise the Lord. I wouldn't wish it upon anyone, but I couldn't imagine having to go back to work the next day or the next week because the bills didn't stop. Like yeah, I couldn't imagine it. Like, how can you show, like, it's hard. Those are hard things.
yeah,
And so life insurance to take that burden is just so important and just something that's so easy to be like, I'll do it later.
right. It honestly takes so much less time than you think it does. And it's so much less than you think it is to get a good, like, just short term plan in place. I don't sell insurance, by the way.
Ah,
I believe in being proactive. I believe in making sure that your exposure is minimized and your vulnerabilities are mitigated. That's all it is. It helps you skate through life a lot easier. If you have AAA and you get a flat tire, no big deal. You've got AAA, right?
yes.
And that's you're just kind of getting AAA through life, and that's what it's all about. Is that if something unexpected happens, you have support, you have resources.
Yes. Ladies, as she mentioned, like it's easy to obtain and it's like way more affordable than you would think. Like, I mean, you can get policies for like $3, $4 a month. Like, we're buying that on a pack of gum at the gas station on a regular basis, right? Like, it's not this crazy amount that's just this long-term investment you may never see. Definitely worth looking into and talking to the right people. Okay, we're going to continue to dive into that topic, but I want to back up a little bit and I want the audience to learn about Jennifer. Who are you, and why is it that women and helping them with their future and their finances and entrepreneurial paths, why is that your passion?
I mean, full circle. I'm so excited to be here with you. I love the whole idea of this podcast of being unapologetic, right? I think everything we just talked about in the opening, I love how we like just dive right in there.
I asked the questions real quick.
How's the weather? Like, who cares? Let's talk about your life insurance. Gosh, I love it. I think that it's really important to have the conversations that people are not having. I think that makes me a disruptor because I'm willing to get uncomfortable and I'm willing to make other people around me uncomfortable, not just for the buzz of it and the sensational, performative part, but truly because that's where growth happens.
Hmm.
And I'm on a mission with my business, Appreciated Asset, to create financial opportunities for women to grow and develop their careers and grow my team with single moms and military spouses. Again, I want to create financial independence for the women on my team. And I love offering employment opportunities and career opportunities to women who are typically undervalued, underemployed, and have massive capabilities and massive, innovative, creative contributions to make. And that's who I want to grow my business with.
That is so beautiful. I love it. I can echo that because the LadyBoss team, the Unstoppable team, we're full of all women because we're powerhouses. We really are. And with the right support and the right system, like we're powerhouses. We just give us the resources and the tools and we're gonna go. And what we can achieve as women is huge. Men can do it too. But men already know that. Like, we need some love and nurturement and that community, right? Like, I feel like, okay, I'm going to go on a tangent a little bit. I want your feedback.
Do
I
it.
feel, unfortunately, women were kind of pitted against each other. And a lot of times it's this jealousy bug and she has this and she has that, and while we crave and we need the community and the support. And I love that. That's actually how you and I met. We met at one of those networking events where we were all there to hype each other and support each other and learn and grow. And all there was this beautiful camaraderie. And I think for me, what you're doing, like you're here to build that and support that and draw that out of women instead of this pit that has been put against us.
I was trained my entire life with that first part, what you were saying. That's how I went to an all girls school. It was highly competitive. And it was, if she wins, it's because you're losing. And so I grew up with a kind of a complicated relationship with women. It was always competitive. There was a lot of mean girl behavior that was tolerated. And I always knew that women, if we worked together, it would be so much better. I was never one of those women like, I'm a guy's girl. Like, no, I love women. But I think you're right. We have always been conditioned to compete against each other. And if we could learn how to collaborate, not compete, we would change everything. And that's who I find myself drawn to. That's where the rooms that I want to be in, like where we met, Kaitlyn, absolutely. We're there to build each other up, to celebrate each other's wins. And you said something about jealousy, which I loved. Can I go on a
Yeah.
tangent for a minute? Brene Brown, like, just take a moment for Brene, right?
Yes. Love her.
In her book, Atlas of the Heart, she talks about the difference between envy and jealousy. And this is one of my favorite uses of language. So I want to teach this to your listeners, if that's okay.
Yes, please do.
And I will paraphrase and probably butcher it. So please go read Atlas of the Heart because it's an amazing encyclopedia of human emotion. But here's the deal. Jealousy is the feeling that someone has something and you can't have it because they do. Okay. Envy is where someone has something, you want that also. Not you don't want them to have it so you can. So someone goes on a vacation, you're not jealous of them. You can go on that vacation. You are just choosing to spend your money elsewhere, but there's not less vacations to go on, right?
Yes.
You are envious. But we always use the word jealousy. And if you can learn how to put that envy into you'll realize how many things you're actually not jealous of, you envy, that you can have too.
I love that. That makes so much sense. And it's so true.
And there's no shame in envy, right?
No.
There's some shame in jealousy. I don't have it. I can't have it.
Mm-hmm.
But in envy, it's like, I just don't have it yet.
Yeah. I love that perspective and being able to see it. I'm big into, like, if you can see the bigger picture in your brain, like, why is this going on? Exactly. Like, being able to see, is this jealousy or is this envy? Well, now I've got some control of it because I've been able to pinpoint it.
Right.
How do I make this work rather than let me just sit and wallow and wish I could?
Right.
Ooh, that is so powerful.
It's a big one.
It is. It is for sure. And I'm a big person as far, everyone spends their dollars differently. Some want the fancy car, some want the vacation, some want to be house poor. I use the word house poor because I don't want to be house poor. I want to go travel, but it looks different. Do you have the big fancy home or are you taking the vacations? And I guarantee you both sides have the envy or the jealousy going on because they still want more. But on the flip side, I'm a big believer in we get to make that choice of where we spend our dollars. My mother-in-law, she spent, I think, like $300 on a zip line one time, like went across the river. And in my mind, I'm like, I would never spend that much money on a zip line. But it's her money. And she gets to choose what she gets to spend it on. And she sets it up and the grandkids love it. It's like that. It's like I always use that example of like, it's your dollars. You get to choose how you spend it. And then if someone is jealous or envious, you've got to be able to evaluate, is it jealousy? Is it envy? What can you do to alter that?
I actually have a post-it note. You know, the whole I have to versus I get to. I have a Post-it note in my house that says, "I get to choose where I spend my money." And that Post-it note lives on my checkbook. I know. Okay, a checkbook, guys, is no, I'm just kidding. I'm a dying giver, and I still have a checkbook, and I have it there. That's where it lives because I
Yes.
get to choose. We all make the choices. It's just taking accountability for how you make those choices.
I love that. And that's a great reminder to have. I'm all about affirmations and the mindset pieces that keep you going when things are rough and on your purpose. And I feel like that is a great one to have on your checkbook because so many times, like we have this financial goal, just can't get there, but
Mhm.
yet we can pull it out for a pack of gum. We can pull it out for ice cream at the Dairy Queen, and all those add up so quick. But having that reminder somewhere on your phone because maybe you're using tap pay or on your checkbook, it's just those reminders of, do I really need the $2 ice cream or is this goal big enough where I'd rather not have it and I'm gonna
Yeah.
wait.
And if you're going to get pleasure and joy out of that, I say do it.
Do it. Yes.
But frivolous spending is absolute self sabotage. Grabbing the extra junk at the Target dollar spot, so guilty about it.
Yes.
Grabbing things extra, the kind of excess is really where I think we sabotage ourselves. But I do believe in like, if you are mindful and really enjoying that Dairy Queen, gosh, that sounds really good right now, then you should, you know.
I agree. You gotta be able to pick and choose and yep, those dollar store. I mean, I look at my desk and my desk is full of so much junk that I spent the money on that I didn't need to spend the money on. I'm sure
Mhm.
yours is too. You're like, if it went missing tomorrow, I wouldn't miss it.
Right.
It might be another year before I need to replace it if I even have to
Hmm.
ever do that.
True.
So, what led you to building appreciated assets?
Okay. So, my origin story, before I started my business, I worked for a company selling SEO and website design development. I've been in sales my whole career. And so I was working for this company. I had earned a bonus in the month of July, and I was there on August 8th, 8 days after into the next month. Okay. In July, I doubled my quota, so I earned my bonus. I went up to the office like I did every couple months. I worked remotely, I always have. And I went to the office every quarter or so. And the owner of the company told me that I was a depreciating asset for the company. And this was after 4 toxic years of the same escalating treatment. Better I did, the more he had to keep his thumb on me, the more he had to really make sure, knock me down, like, make sure
You could never go find something somewhere else.
I could never do it without him. And so I left, and I'd been listening to You're a Badass by Jen Sincero, which was like my gateway drug into personal development. But I'd been listening to that in the car for the drive. And on the way back, I was like, I'm never going to cry over him ever again. I'm never going to
Mhm.
cry over this job. I'd sacrificed so much time with my son, who at the time was a toddler, and it made me sick how much time I'd lost with him for someone who just would never, ever treat me with respect. So I said I was going to start a business called Appreciated Asset, and every dollar, every team member, and every client through the door would be treated with value, appreciation, and respect. That's how we started.
I got goosebumps. That is so powerful to be able to turn years of this man belittling you and knocking you down to creating a diamond of an enterprise. Like that is all about not just creating appreciated assets for your customers, but your employees, everyone
Mhm.
who interacts with you, being able to have a conversation with you, you add value. That's just such a beautiful thing. And kind of mentioned like how the world needs more camaraderie in women, but just sharing that light and showing the women and men and anyone you interact with that they are of value, that they're not just someone you brush off. I love what you're doing. I could just go on forever about that.
Thank you. I think having something that you love to do, like I'm not familiar with the Sunday scaries anymore. I get back from a week's vacation. I can't wait to get back to work. I feel revived and refreshed. Sunday nights, I'm raring to go. And I think everyone should have that. It's not about being a workaholic. It's about being so deeply fulfilled with what you do that you can't wait to get back at it. And you enjoy your time away, but you also are just as excited for a Monday as you are for a Friday.
there were years or months or whatever where it's always Sunday night where I can't sleep. And I'm like, why? Like I went all weekend being able to sleep just fine, not worried about all the things. And on Sundays, my brain won't stop. All of the to-do list and it took me months to realize, wait, it's because I really enjoy what I get to do. And so I'm already making the mental note of all the things I get to dive into. It's not like it's a bad thing of like, oh, I let all this slide. It was the excitement of like, okay, can I start in my workday like Sunday night? Like, does it have
Yeah.
to wait till Monday morning? And once I realized that's like my sleep even got better. Like, is the to-do list there? Yes, but it's no longer anxiety. It's that joy that I get to do.
Yeah, it's excitement.
Yes. It is like, when I say when you're a kid, maybe you still do, but like the night before your birthday, when you're all excited about your birthday the next
Yeah.
day and you can't sleep, or the night Christmas Eve when you're waiting for Santa to come, like, and you can't sleep, like it happens as adults, it just looks different.
Well, and do you know that our physical response to anxiety and excitement are the same?
Yes.
You get the same physical reaction. So isn't it better to be excited about something than anxious about it? And
And
even
are
if
you
you change that,
using
even if you
anxiousness?
are anxious, right? If you just change that word to excited, you start to retrain yourself.
Yes, especially because if it's the same feeling, are you actually excited and not anxious, but you're making yourself believe that you're anxious and nervous and
Mhm,
can't do it?
mhm. That too.
So sales, I'm sure you've heard. Yes, you're like, yeah, I know where
I
you're
was like,
going. You
"Oh
see my face.
god."
What does sales mean to you? Because sales does have that icky term still attached to it in some ways. You say that you're a disruptor in the industry. So what does that mean to you?
I am on a mission to create a ripple effect for great business solutions to grow with our solutions. But our vision is to change the narrative about sales.
Get rid
Everything's
of the
not
term.
everyone, but so many people are like, I hate sales. I'm not good at sales. Sales is gross. Sales is cringe. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. You may have been taught it in a way that is unnatural for you, that doesn't feel good for you, we are all selling all the time, every day to our kids, to our significant others, to our friends. Let's go to this restaurant, not that one. We are, you know, all it is influencing. So if I told you that your job is not to sell anyone anything, but simply educate people about who you are, once you introduce yourself, it's all you've got to do. Introduce yourself and educate. The sale, if it's a fit, it's going to happen. There's nothing you can do to stop it, really. So I don't ever want to close anyone, convince anyone, rebut anyone's objections. I'll respond and I'll
Hmm.
explain, here's, would you consider this? Or here's something else to take a look at. But I'm not going to volley with someone. And I was taught sales that way too. And it works. It works to build transactions. It does not work to build relationships. And relationships are how you create a long term sustainable business. So, what do you do? What do you do? Instead of pitching, instead of volleying, instead of talking at someone, or please don't pull up a sales pitch deck.
Cringe.
Instead of all of those things, just have conversation, ask a lot of questions, learn about even if you are the right fit, and then make the introduction. But here's something else to consider. If you have a service or product that you believe in, that you know is valuable, that you know can help someone, isn't it your responsibility to reach out and let them know?
You're only doing a disservice if you don't.
What they do with that information, that's on them. That's not on you. How they respond is on them, not on you. Someone saying no has nothing to do with your worthiness. Just gets you closer to the next yes. That's
And
it.
like you're not made for everyone. And like, your offer, whatever it is that your business is, or whatever you're doing, or whatever you're selling,
Mhm.
isn't for everyone, and that's okay. But yes, as you educate and they learn about you and you grow that movement and remove that transactional piece, and even the honesty of, you know what, maybe LadyBoss lean protein isn't for you. It's like, wait, most people are trying to tell me it is, and that this is like the best thing ever. And I have to take it. Like, why are you telling me it might not be?
Mhm. Yeah. If it doesn't align with your goals and your lifestyle and what you will actually do, if it's just going to sit in a box on your shelf, I'm not really interested in that.
Nope. I love that. I love that disruption of it because so often in sales, like forcing something down someone's throat, and It kind of gives you that slimy feeling. But on the flip side of it, if you sell this way of educating and people learning about you, one, you're building the camaraderie, and two, you're bringing in the clientele you want to work with. Because whatever your industry is, if it's life coaching, like then you're bringing people who are ready for growth, who want to excel, rather than those that might just not be quite ready for it yet, or those that are way past that point and they're like, "You're not for me yet." You're attracting your ideal client, that ideal audience. That person that at that point in time needs you and what you're doing to continue growing themselves.
That's right. You're just finding the aligned opportunities and they're finding you. Oprah says, I love Oprah. If anyone remembers her, Oprah says that luck is where opportunity meets preparation. And I think that's a huge part of what sales is being prepared for opportunities when they present themselves and being able to recognize them as well. It's kind of another thing. You have to be able to see that there's an opportunity before it passes you by. You have to always hover it, discover it, get curious.
And not be scared to say yes. I'm big in my faith. That's a big part of what I do. And like, I wouldn't be where I am without the Lord's guidance and the opportunities. And there's a constant reality check of, well, maybe he's already given me the guidance and I've missed it. Maybe I already know my next steps, but I've ignored it. Maybe this is, you've got to keep your mind open. You've got to keep an eye out for all of that. So that way you don't miss those opportunities, those moments.
Another Oprah gem is she said that the lessons get louder and louder until you listen, right? So I think it's just about, are you going to be your biggest advocate? Are you going to put yourself out there? No one else is going to sell this for you. It's up to you to really seize the day. You're never going to regret doing it. You will 100% regret not taking it, not taking the opportunity, not taking the chance. And again, the worst thing someone can say is no. I have
Mhm.
been told no more times than probably all of your listeners combined. I promise you. I've been told no, but because of that, I've been told yes more also. And when someone says no to me, I don't take it personally. It's not about me, it's about them, and it's okay. And more than not, a no is never a hard no. It's usually a not no. So take the chance, be willing to hear the no. It gets you one closer to the next yes. And again, know that the more you hear, the more yeses you're going to hear as well.
Yes. And that no, it only builds your resilience.
Mhm.
It wasn't, I think it was Mel Robbins in her Let Them book, I think. If you're at a restaurant or on an airplane, or we'll use the airplane example, like that's the one she used, where she's like, where you go on the airplane, you get your beverage and they give you your ice cup with your Diet Coke in it. Ask for the whole can. They might say yes, they might say no, but we've kind of been trained to like not put ourselves out there and not ask. Like, if we can't ask for the Diet Coke, how are you going to be able to communicate to someone this something that they really need that and could make a huge, massive change in their life?
Yeah.
You can't ask for the
I
can of Diet
think that
Coke.
as women specifically, we've been conditioned to be thankful for what we're given and shut up.
Mm,
And if you ask for more, you're selfish, you're greedy, you're extra, you're too much.
mm-hmm.
Again, they've got plenty of Diet Coke on the plane.
Yeah.
You're not
Ask for
taking
more.
someone else's Diet Coke away.
No, no.
So, yeah, advocate for yourself. And please, please teach your children to do that for themselves too, which is terribly painful when they're preteens. Trust me, the mother of a child that knows very well how to advocate for himself, but it will serve him throughout his life that he can speak up for himself.
Yes. No, it is so huge. I was at an event earlier this year and a gentleman walked up to one of the guys hosting the event, and he has a private plane. He flew to this event area, and the guy was like, I would, he wanted, the guy wanted to have him on his podcast. And he's like, I think it'd be the coolest thing if you could, like, if I could be on your plane, you could take me for a flight and I could interview you for my podcast. And the guy said, how are you getting home? Do you have plans after this? You want to go with me to Tennessee? And the guy's like, what? Seriously? And so he changed his plans. He hopped on this plane. He in the interview, he's like, the flip side, the guy who has the plane had asked him like, why'd you say yes? And then flip it around, why'd you give me this opportunity? And the guy who gave him the opportunity, he's like, I always give out this opportunity, but I can't tell you the amount of people who say, oh, it doesn't work. I can't right now. It's not that important to them if they can't make it a priority and actually do it.
Mm-hmm.
You rearranged your schedule. You postponed things. You hopped on the plane for this once in a lifetime, possibly opportunity where how much are you going to learn and grow in a private plane from Vegas to Tennessee? Like, what? How awesome is that? Because one, he asked, and when he did ask, and the answer was not what he was expecting, he made the change and he went after it. He didn't like second guess and like, maybe I should. It's like being asked to speak on stage, Jennifer. Like, I'm sure when you first started speaking, when you would get that offer, was there that doubt of like, okay, well, I want to speak, but maybe I should say no because I'm not quite ready? Like, did you have that battle at all?
Oh my gosh. I'm going to be unapologetic with you. Okay. Does that fit?
Yeah.
Is that on brand?
Yeah, totally.
I don't like speaking.
Ooh.
I do it and I've done it, but really it's not my favorite thing to do. And I decided that me on stage with a slide deck and a clicker is not what lights me up. It makes me feel drained. It makes me, and I'm good at it. It's not like, oh, I flopped and so I'm never going to do it again. I'm just saying right now in this season, Kaitlyn, I would do this all day long with you. I love back and forth. I love podcasting. I love panels. I love workshops. I love trainings. But like keynote speaking, just not my jam. It's not weird. No one ever says that. I am not interested in doing TEDx. I go and I'm the biggest hype girl every year for TEDx Charleston. I love it. It is so interesting and inspiring and all of the things. It's just, I look forward to the day every spring. I'm not interested in being on that stage. It doesn't light me up. And I think that a lot of times, part of being unapologetic is saying, like, this is my path. It might not look like yours, and it might not look like what you think it should look like. People think I should speak more, and they might not be wrong. But I get off of a call like this, and I am jacked up, like energized and high vibe, and I love the way it feels. My frequency just is off the charts. I don't get that same experience on a stage. And so for now, until that shifts for me, and it might shift next month and it might shift in 10 years, until that shifts, I'm going to honor that for myself because that's not where I shine. You know what else? Also, when you come home to kids, like when I see my son later, I will be, excitable and excited. And even if you got to put it on sometimes, but the reverse is like, I've been around after being off of a stage and I am depleted. Like I'm drained and I have nothing left physically and emotionally and intellectually. I'm just done. And how do I want to show up for my kid right now? So that's another piece of it that was really helped me make that decision.
That's huge. Being able to see that. It's just spending that energy where you want to, where your creative really is. If it's not on stage, then that's not, no matter who tells you, that's not where you should be, right? Working on, this one-on-one networking like we're doing and podcasting, and these are your stages. They just look a little different. And rather than deplete you, they increase that energy, increase that excitement, that mission and purpose of what you're doing.
And I don't have to wear shoes. Of course, you're sparkling.
Yes.
I love it.
Got the slacks, got the Q-top, I got the sparkly slippers. Okay.
I love it. Every time I see, I'm like, I need more sparkle in my life. Seriously, it's amazing.
But it's not for everyone, and that's okay. People are always like, I always hear like, I dress so extra. Like, oh, what's Kaitlyn gonna wear? Because we know it's gonna be off the charts. And
Love it.
it's like, call it extra. I'm extra. It's me. I own it. It's not a bad thing. I think it's fun. I'd rather be overdressed than underdressed. I always hate when I do that.
Same.
But I have so much fun in my wardrobe. I'm like,
Yeah.
spice life.
Dopamine dressing. Have you heard that? So dopamine dressing is about wearing the sparkly tutu on a Tuesday because right?
Didn't you rock a tutu at the event that we were at?
Michelle did.
Yes, Michelle did. Yes, and I did.
Yes, you did too.
You have one though, because you have one like mine. Didn't we have that conversation?
I don't remember. I don't remember what I had for lunch yesterday, but I have them. And I believe in like bringing out, using the fine china, burning the candle, like just enjoying the beautiful baubles and things that you have instead of keeping them tucked away.
I love that. So I had a house burned down completely to the ground in 2014, and it definitely gave me a different perspective. You go in houses, like even your house, you've got your pictures on the walls. I can see them from here, like all the things are up, and I'm horrible at it because to me, I'm like I enjoy them in other ways because they could be gone. So why hoard them? Putting them on the wall is not hoarding them. That's probably a little bit of trauma I have left for my house burning down.
Oh,
But it's definitely given me that perspective of like, use it, be loud. Like, don't just let it sit there and be like, it's just needs to be safe, like the fine china forever. It's like, use it, enjoy it. If it brings you joy keeping it stored up, it's going to bring you even more joy when you get to bring it out on Christmas and on a Tuesday because it's a Tuesday.
right. So, Kaitlyn, can I ask you a question about that?
Yeah.
How does that experience, and I'm so sorry that that happened to you. I mean, that is major trauma. How does that experience shape the way you spend your money now on things?
Well, first and foremost, I don't joke around with insurance anymore. I did not have insurance when that happened. And so definitely make sure you have all the insurances. It's pennies on the dollar and would definitely help out in a bind. But how I spend my money now, as I mentioned earlier, is I don't want to be house poor. So when I look at spending money, it's more on activities, even like Christmas. I struggle with Christmas and getting my kids toys because to me, I'm like, they're just junk. I would rather be building and creating core memories than having all this accumulation of stuff.
100% aligned with you there. In fact, for the holidays, I'm doing 2 experience gifts, and larger ones. And I'm
Ooh.
done. And I'm not buying $10 here and $5 here and 20 and do I have enough for this person and enough for this person? And do we do even? No, it's not a competition and it's not a sport. I really want to give things that, well, with the experience, no one can take that away from you, right?
Yeah. Yep. Well, and I think going back to the jealousy and envy piece of it, it's like, I might so we actually leave on Thursday. We're taking the kids to Great Wolf for an experience, and people might be like, "Oh, she's always traveling." Like, there's that jealousy or envy.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, what you don't see is my kids aren't really getting any Christmas presents because we're doing an activity instead of this. Like,
Yeah.
go to Great Wolf Lodge with the kids. I pray for you because as the parent, it's a little stressful, right?
Have you been?
We have been. It was a few years ago, but
And you're going back.
yeah.
You didn't block it out.
But the one I have blocked out, and I guess I haven't fully blocked out is Disney. It was like 8 years ago, but it was just my son and I and Disney, single parent, not horrible 7-year-old. He was great, but like, oh man, it is not the happiest place on earth for an adult. It was stressful.
Yeah, it's a bit of a team sport. I've been there by myself with my son before too. And it is a bit of a team sport. And it's also like energy kind of feeds off of groups. But I will tell you, we've done plenty of solo trips there. So happy to give any tips on that too sometime. But
Like,
you just have to
we're
find what vibe works for you and your kids. We're like, and different ages bring different.
different things. And I'm
Yeah.
like, we hopefully are going to go in the next year or two first so my youngest can get the experience. He hasn't been yet. And I'm like, that will be a whole family affair. I'm not
Mhm.
going by myself. We are all going. And it's going to be an enjoyable time because the 7-year-old won't be bawling because he's hungry at 1 in the afternoon. The lines are 3 miles long. Like we're going to be
Mhm.
prepared. We're gonna have multiple hands to help and it's going to be great. Now on the flip side, that was just mom's experience. My son remembers going when he was 7, loved it. He had a blast. All that perception, the goggles you have on.
Yeah, for sure. Amazing.
So can I ask what are your activities you've got planned for Christmas
I
gifts?
will
This
tell
won't come
you.
after Christmas. So anyone
Yeah.
here is
It's okay. My family doesn't listen to these anyway. My son, I was telling him I was getting published in a magazine, and I won't say which one because it's not out yet, but pretty big deal. I'm getting published in a magazine. And Max goes, Big deal, Mom. No one reads those anymore anyway. Thank you,
Thanks, kid.
child, for bringing me back to earth. I guess if
Love you.
I'm not a YouTube star, I'm nothing. So, okay, so they are going to a NFL game. That's kind of a boys' trip they're going to do. And then in January, as a family, and I have a blended family. So I have my son, and then I've got stepchildren and my forever fiance. And we're all going to Universal,
California or Florida?
Florida. Florida. They've got the new Epic. And so we've got the Super Mario and the Harry Potter and all the kids. So we're going to do that. And I'm looking forward to it. And I will say Orlando in January is a dream because the weather is just chilly and perfect for walking around all day.
Yeah.
So,
I
yeah,
love
so that's
Florida.
what we're doing. And they'll, it'll light them up. I would pick different travel experiences, but this is a gift. And that's what light
They
them
would.
all up. And I'm super excited about it.
I love it. Everyone's going to have a blast. And again, you're making those core memories.
Yeah,
I remember it forever. Beautiful.
absolutely.
So being a mom and a CEO, that's a lot.
Mhm.
I mean, how do you balance motherhood and business and self-care, especially when you didn't have your forever fiance? I was trying to put the two words together, and it was just you and him.
Okay, so I'm going to go to self-care first. Self-care, we've talked a lot today about like what we're programmed, what we're conditioned to believe. Self-care doesn't have to be red wine in a bubble bath. So you have to figure out what self-care is for you. And everyone has time for something. Whether it's 5 minutes of meditating once you put the car in park after a drop off, or I'm trying to think of like some self-care things for me. Grounding myself, going outside and breathing in some air and doing some, you know, it's not like official breath work, but really just doing some deep breaths outside, giving myself some mindful minutes is really important. Self care for me is making sure all of my doctor's appointments are prioritized.
That's such an easy one to push off and
It's
postpone.
if I am not healthy, none of all this works. So I have to prioritize myself. And I had a health scare earlier this year. It's nothing. We've got it diagnosed, quickly, but it was a scary couple days and I prioritized it. I pushed other things around to get to the doctor, to get the test, to get it cleared. So then
Congratulations.
you
That's
can
exciting news. That's nothing.
Yeah, but the whole like put your head in the sand, that does not serve your family. So making sure all of your appointments are taken care of. Um, that self-care. Self-care is, for me, it's massage and facial. Self-care for me is journaling when I feel led to, not journaling as part of a daily routine that of something else I have to do.
Yes.
So I think the biggest thing to bring that in for self-care is like, what are you feeling led to do? What are you drawn to? Do that. Self-care is a nap.
Mm-hmm.
That's self-care. So tell me the question again. How do I do it all? It changes as your kids get older. So when you've got a kid that's napping twice a day versus a kid that doesn't nap, man, I miss those naps. When you have a kid that's in school full time versus when you have a kid that can drive themselves to school. I mean, the thing about like being a mom is that you're just as soon as you get used to something, it changes, right? They
Mm-hmm.
change, they grow, whatever. So I think for me, if you expect that you're going to have a fully balanced life every day, you're setting yourself up for failure. But if you can get to the end of every week and say that you had self care, good family time, work, productive work, and whatever else matters to you in that balance, then that's a win. And there's also times like I drive my son to school every day. That's a time for us to connect, not for him to be on the screen, which is honestly what he'd prefer.
Oh, yeah.
So
That
it's something
age.
that I fight it, but it matters. And it's time that we can connect that matters. Otherwise, it's just mindless, frivolous waste of time. So I try to be really intentional about the time that I have. For me, another thing, I love to cook dinner at night sometimes after I work a full day. And if I cook dinner, it's a really good way for me to like turn this off and then turn this on. As moms,
Shift.
you have to like wear so many hats throughout the day that it's really nice to give yourself, for me, I really love that transition. And I feel like a rock star when I get dinner on the table for my family after killing it at work for the day. It feels really, really good.
That's awesome. I love that. I love that shift too, because I know exactly what you're talking about, where like that brain goes after a long day. And if you don't have something to shut it down, then it just bleeds over and that's not good.
Right.
All right, Jennifer, as we wrap up, I want to ask you a few rapid fire questions. Is that okay? All right. Cold brew or hot coffee?
Iced coffee. No cold brew. It's hot coffee over ice.
Favorite song?
This Is Me from The Greatest Showman.
Ooh, best book you've read this year.
The Abundance Project by Derek Gardell.
And your first big yes moment in business.
I had a client, former client, who said to me, if you did for my business what you do for yours, meaning like the outreach, my business would double next year. And I said, well, let's do that. I'll charge you this and you tell me who you want to reach out to and I'll reach out and I'll set you appointments. I mean, that's what we do for a business app. And he said yes. And then I called a couple more clients and, I got this idea. And, by lunchtime the next day, I had 4 clients on board and that's how our appointment setting business was born. So that will be the best yes.
That's awesome. Yes. And final question, what is one thing you wish every woman knew about her?
That when we live in gratitude and focus on the abundance that we have, it will exponentially grow.
Yes. So beautiful. Living in gratitude is, you can find the gratitude in every situation. I mean, it's a game changer. Jennifer, this has been incredible. Thank you so much for being on the Apologetic Podcast.
Amazing. I loved it. And I love all your sparkle. You keep being extra. I love that about you.
Thank you. I mean, your energy and your passion and your truth inspires me so much. And I know every woman who's listening is walking away with more fire in their soul today. So I truly, truly thank you.
Well, you're so welcome. Thank you. Have the best day.
You as well. Ladies, if you're ready to build unapologetically, connect with Jennifer. We will link all her things, her socials below, or get on the dance floor and dance, have some fun in your kitchen. Just self-care is dancing. I love that. It's one of my favorite. And just remember that you don't have to choose between motherhood and momentum and business and softness or strength or wealth, or you don't have to choose. You just have to prove it. You can do it. You can do and achieve whatever you want. Whatever your goals are, find the gratitude in all the things. And Jennifer, what is your final thing? What do you want to leave them with? That final piece.
What you appreciate appreciates.
What you appreciate appreciates. I love it so much. Ladies, till next time, thank you for being here. Bye.
I'm showing up as the woman I was created to be.
I don't have to be perfect. I just have to be real.
One woman's courage gives another permission. I'm done waiting for someday. My time is now. I'm walking in faith, not fear.
God's plan for me is bigger than my fear.
No more hiding who I am. This is the real me, and I'm not apologizing for her.
Thank you for tuning in to the Unapologetic Podcast. If today's episode fired you up, hit that subscribe button so you never miss a new one. And hey, leave a quick review, or sharing this with a friend helps us reach more women who need this message. Until next time, keep rising, keep shining, and keep living unapologetically.